This match was released first for our members on YouTube and Patreon. Becoming a member is the only way to watch all Purpose Wrestling shows presented in full. Thank you to all these YouTube and Patreon members who help us bring Purpose Wrestling to you. To support Purpose Wrestling, become a member at purposewrestling.com/members. Link in the description. Purpose Wrestling, for the love of wrestling.
Nino, one more chance, and that's it. And you just wrestle for the title. One more time, and then we'll go to the title.
Right now, you sound like the whiny bitch Michael Hogan. This is different. Something like that has never happened to me here in Purpose Wrestling. To get jumped by David Francisco after I told him no. To get jumped by David Francisco when I told him he wasn't good enough. Because he isn't good enough for me. I beat you, David.
Ever since I joined the East City Sovereigns, we have been on top. But ever since RJ's come back, it's been loss after loss after loss, and I don't lose!
You didn't just attack me, you attacked my brothers. You didn't just attack me, you choked me out and humiliated me in front of my people.
We need more. We need tag team championships. RJ Singh can't get that to us, but this man right here, David Francisco FRN, he can make that happen for us.
It's time for me to put you in your place first. It's time for me to slap you back to the back of the line, which you should be at anyway.
I gave and I gave and I gave and I gave. I did nothing but giving. Everything. I made this place and I gave you everything I had. And for what? For nothing. I'm sick of giving. From now on, when I want, I'm gonna take.
It's main event time. The Purpose Wrestling title is on the line. And what I've got to say is a bit of a controversial matchup. David Francisco's angled himself a match by essentially jumping the Bryant with these two morons. First day at job and first day at sick form here.
After losing his title shot, after losing the glitch gauntlet, somehow David Francisco is still in the main event today, tonight even, with the championship on the line. Nothing makes sense here, Bobby.
Well, this is all down to Nino Bryant, champion's prerogative to pick his challenger. We know the official number one contender is Leland Bryant after he won the glitch gauntlet. But thanks to the actions of these three men, beating down the Bryants and RJ Singh, Nino Bryant decided, one more crack, David, I'm going to beat the hell out of you. And speaking of beating the hell out of them, here come the Bryants. I prepared a fancy graphic for Nino. This is upsetting. But here they are, the Bryants beating down David Francisco, John Saeed and Kieron, and can't say they don't deserve it.
Yeah, unzip that while you can, David. I've seen in other promotions you get stuck in that jacket, so good of you to take it off as soon as possible.
And they're just trying to regroup Francisco and his boys. And if in doubt, you throw your brother. That is the Bryant family motto.
They do say that. They do say that. I think that's on the back of their gear, actually.
Zander Bryant being used as a missile. David Francisco trying to regroup his troops. He saw him throwing instructions, I think, at Kieron there.
And again, officially, Bobby, this match hasn't started. Anything goes.
Well, neither of the competitors have even been in the ring yet. We can't have a bell until both men have been in the ring. And it's just them two as well. No one else can be in there. That is how a wrestling match starts.
Thanks for mansplaining wrestling, Bobby.
How is it mansplaining? It's just explaining.
Now you're mansplaining? Okay.
The Bryants, I'm not talking to you, TK. The Bryants really going at Francisco, Cameron, and Saeed. Really wanting revenge after the hideous beatdown at the end of the last show.
Oscar Harding, take control of the ring, mate.
This just turned into an all-out brawl in the library. We might have to send
out of the trio. Key and Cameron there.
Cameron sent out by Zander. And Leland and Zander getting rid of Saeed. Hopefully that nice suit doesn't get creased. And there goes Francisco. The Bryants have the high ground, taking control of this brawl at the beginning of what should be a championship match, the main event here at Mutiny.
Leland once again sending David Francisco over the top rope.
Jesus Christ, Leland with just a swanson, using his brothers to step up.
It's an all-out Bryant kamikaze.
Bryants have incredible athleticism, ridiculous scenes here to start this title match. The fans let the Bryant brothers know that they approve of their actions. Bryant's grabbing hold of all three of their adversaries. This is one thing, when you take on the Bryants, you take on a single Bryant or them, you're taking them all the time. They're so tight, always got each other's backs. Nino, tightrope walking across the top.
Don't let the Wimbledon Library Authority see this. There goes the deposit.
Moonsault wiping everyone out. And the Bryant brothers moving out the way, leaving the target just at the last second. And David Francisco and his crew thought they were going to be the ones to bring the chaos at the end of the last show. But when the tide is turned, the Bryants really getting the better of these three.
It wasn't that long ago, Bobby, that the Purpose crowd would chant, David Francisco, he does what he wants. And now it seems like that's all completely turned on its head, where everything David Francisco wants to do is ultimately blowing up in his face right now.
Nino Bryant getting ahead of steam. The Bryant brothers have removed Saeed and Cameron. What a drop kick. Take a seat, Francisco. Nino sending Francisco to the ring. We're going to get a start for this match. No, not quite. Francisco. That running wrecking ball drop kick, the pendulum drop kick, wiping out Nino Bryant, classic Francisco.
Shades of a young Safire Reed there with that wrecking ball drop kick.
Hear the crowd calling Francisco a whiny bitch. That is the verbiage that Nino dropped when Francisco asked for another title match at the end of the last show. We've seen this from David before. Gets ahead of steam, slingshots himself around the corner post, going to boot Nino in the face. Oh Jesus, Nino out of nowhere pops up, takes the flesh off of David Francisco's chest. Hear the crowd, they want him, they want Nino to hit that kick one more time. And he obliges. And you got to think Nino finding this quite satisfying, laying these kicks into David Francisco.
You got to think Nino's out for blood tonight, Bobby. Not just so much as a title shot, but the things David Francisco has done to the Bryant family just to get a title shot.
But we know Nino. Oh, catch by David Francisco. Nino going for a crossbody. Round into that corner post. Those corner posts are squared off. And if Rex Armstrong was still on comms, he'd tell me that is the hardest part of the ring, and that's the second hardest part. Nino Bryant's lower back in agony. David Francisco takes control of this title match. To your point, Teeks, I think if he'd have just jumped Nino would have been pissed, but the fact that his brothers were jumped, that just becomes infinitely more personal.
It's that classic verbiage of have a problem with me, fine. Have a problem with my loved ones, my friends, my family, then it becomes personal. And that's what David Francisco has made this championship match. Last time it was just business. It was just number one contender versus champion. This time, it is heated rivals. It is like bloodthirsty.
Nino back to his feet. Referee Oscar Harding rings the bell. Nino says he's good to go. Francisco taking full advantage. Boot across the neck of Nino Bryant. Nino looking worse for wear already. May have not been the wisest idea. Well, referee Oscar gave him the option not to start this match. Scoop slam by Francisco. Boot across the face. David Francisco showing his vicious side. Hear the fans getting on top of Francisco with stuff I'm not going to repeat on commentary. The Southport Francisco European uppercut. Nino Bryant crumbles.
I mean, we've seen this kind of resiliency from Nino Bryant before. We've seen this kind of resolve from Nino Bryant before. He's had an excellent championship run this time around.
Nino Bryant, you're not wrong, Teeks. An unbelievable championship run, beating amazing opponents. But the start of this match was chaotic. Is that the thing that's going to undo Nino Bryant? He's beaten Charles Samuels. He's beaten David Francisco in the past. Alex Windsor into the cover, nearly a new champion.
You'd have to think from the perspective of David Francisco, a man who always thinks he has a plan, would have factored in that exact complication with Nino Bryant. But and then I'm sure by the same token, Nino Bryant was expecting this sort of tactic from David Francisco.
What flatliner into the cover.
He's got a name for that move,
leg.
but we don't know it. I'm sure I've seen him post a clip of it.
Nose.
I'm sure I've seen him post a clip of it on Instagram.
Very recently too, yeah. Bryant's face smashed into the canvas. Got a lot of leverage, throwing Nino up into the air before hitting that flatliner. Scoops him up. David on the verge of what a scoop slam. The power of Nino Bryant. Michinoku driver. Driving David down into the canvas. I was about to say, David on the verge of Sunshine Machine level amounts of names for his moves. Nino gets up. Running European uppercut. David tries to get some separation. Swings. Nino sees it coming. We've seen this before. Nino Bryant like Spider-Man when it comes to avoiding offense.
Both men, though, know each other inside out.
By Bryant. They train together into the cover. Nino's nearly retains. David, in fact, having a hand in training a very young Nino Bryant. Lion salt, second rope, into the cover. Hooks the leg straight away. Francisco just getting out.
Nino basically turning Francisco inside out.
See the determination written on the face of Nino Bryant, grabbing Francisco by the hair. Look for that Argentine face mask. We've seen Nino employ before. He's been able to get anyone up. Don't let Nino's size fool you. He's incredibly strong. Spinning backhand. The Uranagi. Look for that ruckus. Nino knows it's coming though. Step up. What a rana. David's face bouncing off that top turnbuckle. Look for Hurricane Nino. David knows it's coming. Both people avoiding each other's finishes. Their lariat, their ripcord lariat into the cover. Nino kicking out at 2. David Francisco. Maybe counting Nino Bryant short, and he shouldn't after the last match they had, but I think he thought he had it.
Well, again, Bobby, we saw another example of both men know each other inside out there, trading finishes, trading signatures. No one quite connecting there until David managed to capitalize with the lariat.
And that's a new thing in David's offense. That might be why he managed to catch Nino out with it. Francisco heads to the top.
Speaking of a new thing here, Bobby, what is David Francisco doing on the top rope?
Well, we see David hit a lariat a fair few times, and there it is.
Gosh, and there you go. Whatever the opposite of the commentator's curse is, Bobby, you've got it.
Maybe I should use it for Nino instead, because this version of David Francisco, a man that I've considered a friend for a long time, a man that we started this company together, has well, his attitude's gone down the toilet, Teeks. I don't really know what else to say.
You guys aren't friends anymore?
Well, he's not returning any of my calls.
That's pretty boomer of you to still be calling him.
Yeah, well, I'm old, Teeks.
Fair.
Hear the crowd getting behind Nino Bryant. Looking for the ruckus, going to load him up. Nino flipping out of it, back elbow, back chop. Oh my God, they're just trading blows in the middle of the ring. Too fast for me to even call it. There's a boot by Nino. and a second, trying to keep that momentum going. We've seen the spring before into the DDT, no flatliner. Cover, Nino scrambling for that cover, trying to keep Francisco down.
Yeah, again, another example, Bobby. Another example of them knowing each other inside out. Mid-flight, Nino pivoting from the Tornado DDT to the Tornado Flatliner. Incredible stuff. But what is Cameron doing back out here?
Nino heads to the top. Look at that Bryant splash. David Francisco sees it coming. Knees up. There's the Everstone kick into the cover. We've seen Francisco end matches with that kick. Nino kicks out at 1. Francisco, a second one. This time, Nino from a seated position. Here comes Francisco. Cameron may have caused enough of a distraction. Nat 20 into the cover. Look at the heart of Nino Bryant. This is why I dubbed in the heart and soul of Purpose Wrestling. It's why I said, JJ Gale, if you're going to come around here calling yourself heart and soul, you need to earn it just like Nino Bryant did. Look at the face of Francisco. This version of David Francisco, even more ruthless. And we know David didn't mind taking a low road before, but this version of David, he willing to do pretty much anything. He's desperate to get his hands on that Purpose title. Sleeper hold. This is what he put Nino out with at the end of the last show after the attack of the Bryants. Drop toe hold by Nino into the variation of a deathlock.
Can't quite make it out from here, Bobby. Is he trying to... Yes, he is trying to incorporate the arm there.
I think David just too strong, grounding himself, holding the arm down so Nino couldn't get hold of it. Francisco working the fingers. Swings wildly, misses, and Bryant overhand palm strike. Now it looks like it's annoyed Francisco, but that might be Nino's plan. Take out the focus, get David frustrated. As I say, this version of Francisco, obsessed with winning the Purpose title. There he goes, look for that DDT. This time Francisco sees it coming, hits a lariat. The title, the only goal Francisco now has. Spent a year working his way to #1 contender. What a reversal by Bryant, dumping Francisco on his head. Just to lose in the big moment. Nino Bryant proving why he might be the greatest ever Purpose Wrestling champion when he beat Francisco.
Once again, Bobby, it can't be understated. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say it, because how many times are they going to demonstrate it? These guys know each other inside out. The rebound tornado DDT counted into the lariat. The pop-up flatliner counted back into the DDT. These guys could go all night.
And this has kind of been a highlight of Nino's run. He's taken on every one of his mentors, including Francisco, but Shah Samuels, Eddie Dennis in his run here, Michael Oku, Connor Mills.
I don't remember having a match with Nino, to be honest, but I'm sure you're right.
Sorry to leave you out of the list there, Teach. Both men scrapping their way back to their feet. Nino Bryant looking to add one more to his impressive resume. Starting this title defense by defending the title in a triple threat against Spike Trevay and Michael Oku. And to be honest, Nino's been on fire ever since. Looking nearly untouchable. Wins over Danny Black. Here we go, look at that Argentine facebuster again. And that's to your point, Tiggs, how well they know each other. Francisco sees it coming and just swings with a punch. That left shot of David Francisco is dangerous. And you've got to really know your opponent and know how to deal with someone who swings from the opposite side of you. Nino Bryant right-handed, David Francisco left-handed.
I'm surprised David didn't try to capitalize there, Bobby. Nino has been strewn multiple seconds.
Nino, though, playing a little possum, perhaps. Francisco sat on the top rope. Nino gonna climb, and David has just taken himself into Nino Bryant's area, this district belongs to Nino. Nino incredibly comfortable on the ropes. Francisco pushing Nino away. Enziguri. And right on the money as well. The jaw, the side of the neck, rocked. Nino going to try to take advantage of a prone Francisco.
What are we looking for here, Bobby?
Superplex, maybe. Not Nino's usual vibe. We usually look for a Hurricane Rana or something from the top rope. We're going to go for a superplex. Going to really put a statement on this match. Superplex. Francisco crashes to the center of the ring in agony. Nino looking for it. Hurricane Nino. Here he comes. There it is. Hurricane Nino hits. Float through. This is how Nino's defended the title multiple times. Wait. Francisco's foot's on the ropes, and I think I saw, yeah, Kieron Cameron.
Oscar, get this man out of here. It was only in the corner of our screen, Bobby, but I'm pretty sure I recognize that Primark dress shirt anywhere. There's no slide on Primark, by the way. I love Primark.
Into the cover, roll through. Francisco nearly catches Nino by surprise after Nino wipes out Kieron Cameron. What a super kick by Nino Bryant. Kieron Cameron with that first day of sick form look going on.
I don't know why I was so quick to defend Primark. It's not like they're watching the show. But in any case.
Nino, super kick, tries the cover, rolls straight to the apron, goes straight to the top. This is the kind of flow Nino needs if he's got to fell Francisco. Francisco sees it coming. Looks for another super kick, pulls referee Oscar Harding in the way. Nino super kicks Oscar. And look at the look on Francisco's face, that grin come across. And Nino says, well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Nino just going to lay in the punches, no one to stop him. Oh, here comes Saeed and Cameron.
What happened off camera? What happened backstage? Where are the Bryant brothers?
Super kick. Gets Nino right in the nose.
Last time we saw these two, they were getting taken out by Xander and Leland.
Well, who knows what happened?
B&B security.
They headed outside. The entrance they went through, that takes you back onto the streets of Wimbledon, so they were probably brawling for a bit. Maybe got broken up by a local bouncer. The all-bar one is across the street. Francisco got a steel chair and he's got the purpose title.
Is Nino's mum stood at the back of the hall, filming the match?
Yeah, the bride.
Somebody tell her to get her sons out here.
Francisco bringing multiple weapons, getting in the face of Nino Bryant. Swings. Bryant avoids, and John Saeed gets smashed on the head with that steel chair. Super kick for Kieron Cameron. Francisco sends that chair wildly. Here comes Bryant. Never count Nino out. The splash. Bryant splash in the corner. Referee Oscar just coming to. Into the cover. Cameron pulling the leg of Oscar Harding. Stopping the 3 count. You got to think that was it. That was done. That Bryant splash finished off Alex Windsor, finished off Shah Samuels. David still not moved since he been hit with it. Kieron Cameron making a nuisance of himself here in the Merton art space. Getting in the face of Nino Bryant. Here comes Saeed. He's got a chair.
He's got CTE.
What? Wails on the back of Nino Bryant and collapses. Nino Bryant, as you said, where are the Bryants? It's 3-on-1 at the minute. And God knows what they're looking for now. The Bryants are here.
Finally.
Zonda, Leland. Oh, that full Nelson into the spin kick by Leland. Brutal move. Takes out
Somewhat looked like they were trying to spit in the face of the memory of their former mentor, RJ Singh, trying to set up the DDT.
Yeah, well, we saw them take out RJ Singh with the DDT. Kieron Cameron laying out RJ Singh on a steel chair with the DDT. No respect for anyone. If in doubt, Throw your brother one more time. Leland Bryant crashing down, wiping out Saeed and Cameron.
Put that on the next NZL release, boys.
Francisco got hold of Leland Bryant, brings him into the ring.
It's not short for New Zealand, by the way. Lovely Purpose viewers and watchers. That is the Nino Xander Leland merch brand.
Drop kick as David Francisco has hold of Leland. Nino Bryant protecting his younger brother. This is that camaraderie we spoke about. The brothers always got each other's back. Leland telling Nino to go one more time, hit that splash. Saeed grabs the ankle of Leland. Nino diverting attention to what's happening to his younger brothers. You know what that's going to mean. Here he comes. Flip senton, wiping out everyone. Now we're going to go for it one more time. We're going to look to hit that splash. Up he goes. Pull is empty. Francisco out of the way. He's got the purple start. He's got the purple start. No! Hits Nino square in the face with a belt. No. Dave Francisco looking to get rid of the evidence. Not like this. Not like that. Here comes Oscar. Oscar, he used the belt. Nino, kick out. Nino. And he does. Brian kicks out at 2. I've been hit with the purple title. But Francisco got that sleep hold in. We saw Nino faint with this.
The Dave mission. I know it's not called
At the end of the last show.
I know you'll be serious that I said that. But anyway.
Lock in deep. Got the carotid arteries of Nino Bryant being pushed against by both arms. Nino fighting. You can see him slowly losing energy. Not like this. Not after everything that's happened. Not after this title reign of Nino Bryant. Not after the behaviour of Francisco. That is locked in tight. Nino is gone. And after what can only be described as shenanigans by Francisco and company.
The Wimbledon screwjob, Bobby. The Wimbledon screwjob.
Stolen the purpose title. Look at the face of Francisco. Couldn't be happier with himself, but he did it all the wrong way. Stolen the Purpose Wrestling title. Kieron Cameron with a big grin across his face. The chaos that this match started and ended with. And Francisco is somehow pleased with that.
He's always spoken about integrity, about honor, about valor here at Purpose. You know, the brand of Purpose Wrestling, made with love, as they say. I hope you're happy with yourself, David. I hope this is how you envisioned your championship win.
The fans clearly not happy with the result of this match. And a couple are, but there's no accounting for taste.
Thank you for watching Purpose Wrestling. Don't miss any of the great pro wrestling action live in Wimbledon. Join us at the Merton Art Space. All details for tickets in the description below. Make sure you subscribe to the Purpose Wrestling YouTube channel for more great matches. Thank you for watching and see you next time.